Have you ever wondered how much your phone or smartwatch gets in the way of truly connecting with others? In this episode, I'm going to explore the power of authenticity and presence, the foundation of genuine engagement. Let's discover why multitasking hurts your relationships, learn easy tips for being fully present, and walk away with a simple challenge to try with your team. Let's find out what changes when you show up as your true present self. Welcome to We've All Done It, the podcast for leaders who get the work done, but find the people part of leading frustrating. I'm Kimberly Benoit, author, award-winning former corporate executive, and leadership coach. With over 20 years in the corporate world, I've seen it all, the good, the bad, and the downright messy. If you've ever avoided a tough conversation, played favorites without realizing it, or just wondered, why is leading people so hard? You're in the right place because we've all done it. This is your space for real talk, real solutions, and no judgment. Together, I'll share practical strategies to help you navigate workplace drama, build stronger teams, and lead with confidence. No more pretending, no more suffering in silence, just honest, actionable leadership from someone who's been in your shoes. Are you ready to lead differently? Let's do this. Hey everyone. So today we're going to explore the first pillar of genuine engagement, showing up with authenticity and presence. So this is a big one. This is like our first foundational one. This is important. We got to get this one right, folks. So let's dig in. I don't know about you, but I feel there's an all-out war for my attention between life and devices, and there's so many devices. It seems everyone wants a piece of my attention all the time. And data proves it to be kind of true because guess what? As an average leader, we check our phones on average 150 times a day. Let that sink in. 150 times a day, you are picking, touching, and looking at that phone. That's substantial. And those switches between tasks happen on average every 3 minutes. So if you think that's not true, I want to tell you a quick little story to kind of illustrate how this actually happens in a leader life. So it's a personal story. I had a huge issue with a project and I needed some advocacy and insight from my leader pretty quickly. And it took me a bit to get on her calendar, as it always is. You know how it is. Calendar is just getting on calendars can be really challenging. And I had gotten in there for 15 minutes and I just needed her to listen because without her, I couldn't remove a hurdle that was really critical to the project I was working on. And just as I'm starting to talk, she gets an alert on her Apple Watch and she breaks eye contact with me and looks down to read it. And then as she's looking down, she's grabbing her phone. We've all seen this happen. And then she immediately starts texting. And in that time that has happened, I stopped talking. To which she looks, without even looking up at me, keep looking at her phone. She says, "Keep going. I'm still listening." So I don't think she meant it to be disrespectful or dismissive. But the reality is that's exactly how it felt, is that I had something so important to tell her and whatever was on her watch couldn't even wait 10 to 15 minutes so that we could resolve my issue. And the truth is despite the fact that she said that she was still listening, I knew I had lost her. So I've had that happen to me many, many times over my career. And I am embarrassed to say I have done it to others many, many times. Because let's be honest, we have been told for a long time that multitasking is good and that the better multitaskers are the best leaders and the best doers. But the truth is, it's a myth. It's an absolute myth. And when you are multitasking during interactions with your team, you're actually rapidly switching between tasks and you're not giving anybody your full attention, which ultimately means you are damaging those connections in those moments. Because even though I know she didn't mean it, it was hurtful. Like I was upset, I was frustrated, right? Did it fully damage our relationship forever? No. But does it create cracks that don't need to be there? Yes. So let's talk about this because this is what we're getting down to, right? Um, so I want to throw out a stat for you because I think it's important. So Harvard Business Review, gold standard again, has found that leaders who demonstrate full presence during interactions with their teams are 34% more likely to deliver results above expectation. Presence isn't just a nice to have with your team. It's actually a performance multiplier. And if you go back to my example, it demonstrates it completely. I needed help in order to execute, and I couldn't get it because she wasn't there with me in the moment. Right? So it's happened, no judgment, but let's talk about what we want to do about it. So, how do we actually practice authentic presence in our busy lives as leaders? So, I'm going to share 3 evidence-based approaches. And I'm just going to preface by saying I can almost virtually hear the groaning before I even start, but just stay with me through them. Trust me on this. Okay, first is we have to create device-free zones. Oh, I know. It hurts. And what I'm talking about here is I'm not saying you can't have your Apple Watch, you can't have your cell phone, all those things. But what I am saying is in one-on-ones or conversations that are extremely important, you need to take that watch off and put it in a different part of the room. Don't have those devices on you, don't have them right next to you because the need to check that notification will overrule your ability to focus on the person in front of you. We've seen it happen. It's seriously, this is like behavior. This is like Psych 101, Pavlov's dogs. Like we salivate at the idea that there's a notification that somebody wants to tell us something or we're needed in some way. But the truth is, who wants us and needs us is sitting right in front of us. And so we have to give them that attention. And so before you say, hey, is it really true? Yes, it is. So studies have found that 73% of employees perceive checking devices during conversations as a sign of disrespect. Yet, 92% of us do it regularly. It's not a judgment, people, not a judgment, but it is a wake-up call. If engagement is important to you, this is a really big one to start figuring out. All right, second, I want you to practice the pause. So, what does that mean? When someone on your team shares something, I want you to pause. Now, I want you to like take a breath. So, anywhere from like 4 to 8 seconds before responding. And the reason why I'm saying this is because it does 2 things. It ensures that you're actually absorbing what that person just says to you. Like you're like not just hearing them, but you're processing it. Because very often, what we all are doing because we are pressured for time is we are listening to respond, not listening to understand. And this pause gives you the ability to listen to understand. Secondly, it signals to the person on the other side of you that you value what they've said enough to really actually think about it before creating your response. It may not seem like much. Trust me, it matters because you will actually find yourself thinking a little bit more before you immediately respond. This, I would say, is so incredible. This is critical all the time, but I would say it's incredibly critical when you're having difficult conversations. And those are the ones we fear, we dread, we avoid the most. And those are the ones where we really need to slow down and make sure we're listening as intently as possible. All right, third tactic. All right, I want you to use the power of your body language. So when you're meeting with someone, are you actually facing them? Are you maintaining eye contact with them? And before people say, hey, I work in a virtual world, I'm maintaining contact with you right now. It's by looking at the camera. And by you looking at them looking at the camera, you are looking at each other. So just by the appropriate eye contact, you are showing engagement. You're showing you're tuned in. You are showing that you are not distracted by some Excel sheet on a separate screen, or you're looking at your watch, or you're looking at your phone, that your attention is fully focused on the person in front of you. The power of body language matters. So we've got those 3 things. So now we've talked about how to be present. But I want to be upfront and say, so now let's dig into authenticity a little bit because presence without being authentic is going to feel very mechanical. Um, and the truth is real engagement requires you to be human, kind of be yourself. Now, I'm not saying that this means that you have to come in and like overshare and, you know, cross boundaries you don't feel comfortable with, but it does mean that you need to show up as a human and be able to have human responses. And when we say this, I want to be very clear about this one component is I know you're not going to love every person you're with, right? I've had teams where there were people I immediately clicked with. We just kind of how we viewed the world, how we viewed work, what we were doing, we were very aligned. And then I had people that just, it wasn't that way. And guess what? That's absolutely normal. Nobody is asking you to be BFFs with every person that works for you or works with you. But an authentic presence is not about personal preference. It's not about becoming friends, unlike what some people might tell you. It's about professional respect and showing up in a way that is professional, respectful, with integrity. So you can be kind and you can be friendly without being friends. There are ways to maintain your boundaries and still show up as a human with authentic presence. Okay, everyone. So this week, I know I gave you a challenge last week. I would love to hear how that went for you. But this week, I want to give you a different challenge. I want you to complete one present conversation with each member of your team. No devices, no mental multitasking, just full authentic presence. Notice what changes. I want you to be honest. Like, does something change not only in you and how you're engaging in that moment, but how that team member is engaging back with you? Does the quality of the information shift? Does the vibe of the connection shift? Let me know. I want to hear it. All right, so in our next episode, we're going to explore the second pillar of genuine engagement, which is clear communication. We're going to unpack why transparency builds trust even when the message is difficult. Take care. I've got two things before I let you go. One, if you've ever gotten any value from the show, please leave a 5-star review. It really helps and absolutely makes my day. The second thing is if you have any thoughts you'd like to share with me, please shoot me an email at podcast@KimberlyJBenoit.com. I'd love to hear from you. All right, see you in the next episode.